Hello friends, welcome to all in my YouTube channel, all about civil engineering by Praveen Mane, whose custom link is www.youtube.com/c/Praveen Mane, and this channel is associated with PM Educational Academy. Today I am going to give you a audio video lecture on how to solve different numericals from fluid mechanics chapter 1 and 2. Chapter 1 is properties of fluids and chapter 2 is pressure and its measurement. So this is Professor Praveen Mane, who is having experience of more than 13 years, 5 years of industrial experience. I have completed my ME in construction management from Pune University, Savitribai Phule, Pune University. So today, without wasting time, I am going to show you how to solve the numericals of fluid mechanics and its step-by-step procedure. Here I have skipped theory part because theory part you should know, or you should first study theory part and then go for the numericals. So after this, because this part or this numericals useful for different competitive examinations like GATE, MPSC, UPSC, civil services examinations, SSC, JE, all type of civil engineering examinations. So, and this also useful for university examinations or board examinations of civil engineering as well as mechanical engineering students, because the fluid mechanics subject is somewhat same, some maybe same, some part is same for both the branches or engineering branches. So now, without wasting time, I am starting my session. So please watch the video carefully, listen it carefully, and if you like it, please do share it and subscribe the channel for more such fruitful videos. So after this, I am adding same type of videos for other chapters from fluid mechanics subjects, and after completing this subject I am going for another subject, that is geotechnical engineering. So without wasting time, we'll start. So first, calculate the specific weight, density and specific gravity of 1 liter of liquid which weighs is 7 Newton. So here given, first you need to write given things. Step 1, write given things. Volume is equal to 1 liter. 1 liter is equal to 1 divided by 1000 meter cube. This is the conversion factor. There 1 liter is equal to 1 divided by 1000 meter cube, or 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. So weight is equal to 7 Newton. Then specific weight, small w. Specific weight is equal to, weight of liquid is equal to weight divided by its volume. So here weight is 7 Newton, volume is 1 divided by 1000 meter cube, is equal to 7000 Newton per meter cube. So 1000 will go up. So density rho is equal to specific weight divided by g. G is the acceleration due to gravity. So density is equal to specific weight. Specific weight is 7000 divided by 9.81 is equal to 713.5 kg per meter cube. So here 7000 in 9.81. So we have converted it in kg per meter cube. Then specific gravity. Specific gravity is equal to density of liquid divided by density of water. So it's 713.5 divided by 1000. Density of water is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. So it will be the density. Then calculate the density, specific weight and weight of 1 liter of petrol of specific gravity 0.7. So solution, given that volume is equal to 1 liter is equal to 1 into 1000 centimeter cube is equal to 1000 divided by 10 raised to 6 meter cube. We have converted in meter to unit conversion. Then specific gravity 0.7, density rho using equation S into 1000 kg per meter cube is equal to 0.7 into 1000 is equal to 700 kg per meter cube. This is the density. Then specific weight W is equal to rho into G. So is equal to 7000 into 9.81 Newton per meter cube is equal to 6867 Newton per meter cube. We know that specific weight is equal to weight divided by volume. Specific weight is equal to weight divided by volume. So specific weight small w is equal to capital W divided by volume is 0.001 or 6867 is equal to W divided by 0.001. W is equal to 6867 into 0.001 is equal to 6867 Newton. Then a plate 0.025 mm distant from a fixed plate moves at 60 centimeter per second and requires a force of 2 Newton per unit area, that is 2 Newton per meter square to maintain this speed. Determine the fluid viscosity between the plates. So your solution here, this is the 0.025 is dy. So small section 0.05 is small section, that is dy. 60 centimeter per second is the velocity. Then 2 Newton is the R. Sorry, force. It is the force 2 Newton per unit area. 2 Newton per meter square to maintain this speed. This is also a velocity. Determine the fluid viscosity. So here distance between plates dy is equal to 0.025. So it is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 meter. U is equal to velocity of per plate. U is equal to 60 centimeter per second, which is equal to 0.6 meter per second. So force on upper plate is equal to F is equal to 2 Newton per meter square. Using the equation, we have tau is equal to u mu into du by dy. So du is equal to change of velocity u minus 0 is equal to u minus, that is 0.60 meter per second. Dy is equal to change in distance. Change in distance is 0.025 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So tau is equal to force per unit area is equal to 2 Newton per meter square. So 2 is equal to mu into, put this value and you will get the answer, poise. This is the poise. So viscosity is mu is equal to, viscosity is always calculated in poise. So this is the equation for viscosity, calculating viscosity. Then determine the intensity of shear of an oil having viscosity 1 poise. The oil is used for lubricating the clearance between a shaft of diameter 10 centimeter and its journal bearing. The clearance is 1.5 mm and the shaft rotates at 150 revolution per minute. So here mu is equal to 1 poise is equal to 1 divided by 10 Newton second per meter square. So d is the diameter of shaft is equal to 10 centimeter, convert it in 0.1 meter. Then distance between shaft and journal bearing. So dy is equal to 1.5 mm is equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So speed of shaft n is equal to 150 revolution per minute. So tangential speed of shaft is given by u is equal to pi dn divided by 60. So put the values, you will get tangential speed of shaft. Then using equation tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So where du is equal to change of velocity between shaft and bearing. So u minus 0 is equal to u. So is equal to 1 divided by 10 into, put the values, you will get the answer. So this will be the determine intensity of shear of an oil. Intensity of shear of an oil, tau is equal to 52.33 Newton per meter square. Now, two horizontal plates are placed 1.25 centimeter apart, the space between them being filled with oil viscosity 14 poises. Calculate the shear stress in oil if upper plate is moved with velocity of 2.5 meter per second. So given distance between two plates, that is dy. Distance between two plates always dy. So 1.25 centimeter, viscosity mu is equal to 14 poise is equal to 14 divided by 10 Newton second per meter square. So this is the unit conversion. 1 poise is equal to 1 divided by 10 Newton second per meter square. So So velocity of upper plate u is equal to 2.5 meter per second. So shear stress is given by equation tau is equal to mu du by dy. So where du is equal to change in velocity between plate. So u minus 0 is equal to 2.5 meter per second. So dy is equal to 0.0125 meter. So tau is equal to 14 divided by 10 into 2.5 divided by 0.125, which is equal to 280 Newton per meter square. This will be the answer. So now find the kinematic viscosity of an oil having density 981 kg per meter cube. The shear stress at a point in oil is 0.2452 Newton per meter square and velocity gradient at that point is 0.2 per second. So here given thing, mass density rho is equal to 981 kg per meter cube, shear stress tau is equal to 0.2452 Newton per meter square. Now velocity gradient is equal to du by dy is equal to 0.2 second. Using the equation tau is equal to u du by dy or 0.2452 is equal to mu into 0.2. So mu is equal to 0.245 divided by 0.200 is equal to 1.226 Newton second per meter square. So kinematic viscosity V, small v, is given by V is equal to mu divided by rho is equal to 1.226 divided by 981. So 0.125 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter square per second. So it's equal to 0.125 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 10 raised to 4 centimeter square per second, which is equal to 0.125 into 10 raised to centimeter square per second. So 12.5 centimeter square per second. So it is 12.5 Stoke. So here conversion I have given conversion 1 Stoke is equal to 1 centimeter square per second. 1 centimeter square per second is equal to 1 Stoke. So it is 12.5 centimeter square per second is equal to 12.5 Stokes. Then determine the viscosity of liquid having kinematic viscosity 6 Stokes and specific gravity 1.9. So kinematic viscosity small v is equal to 6 Stokes is equal to 6 centimeter square per second. Convert it in meter square per second. 6 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square per second. So specific gravity of liquid is 1.9. Let the viscosity of liquid is equal to mu. Now specific gravity of liquid is equal to, what is the formula for specific gravity of liquid? The formula for specific gravity of liquid is equal to density of liquid divided by density of water. So specific gravity of liquid is equal to density of liquid divided by density of water. So density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Density of liquid divided by density of liquid divided by density of water is equal to specific gravity of any liquid. So its density of liquid divided by 1000. So it will be 1900 kg per meter cube. Now using equation V is equal to mu divided by rho. Mu divided by rho we get. So here we'll put the value. Mu is the viscosity, rho is the density, and V is the kinematic viscosity. Now here a Newtonian fluid, there are different types of fluid, Newtonian fluid, ideal fluid. So in basic thing, in theory part, we have already studied it. So here we are solving the numericals. A Newtonian fluid is filled in the clearance between a shaft and concentric sleeve. The sleeve attains a speed of 50 centimeter per second when a force of 40 Newton is applied to the sleeve parallel to the shaft. Determine the speed of it. A force of 200 Newton is applied. If force of 200 Newton is applied, determine the speed of shaft. We need to find speed of shaft. So here given thing, speed of sleeve mu u1, small u1 is equal to 50 centimeter per second, where force is equal to F1 is equal to 40 Newton. Let speed of sleeve is u2 when force F2 is equal to 200 Newton. Then using relation, what is the relation? What do we know? Shear stress tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So where tau is equal to shear stress is equal to force divided by area. Shear stress is equal to force divided by area, F divided by A. Du is equal to change of velocity, u minus 0 is equal to u. Dy is equal to clearance is equal to y. It is the clearance. Then F divided by A is equal to mu into u by y. So F is equal to A into mu into u divided by y alpha u. So here A, mu and y are constant. A, mu, y are constant. So we know only F and mu, alpha mu. So F1 divided by mu1 is equal to F2 divided by mu2. So here proportionality, this is the proportionality sign. This is proportionality sign. And this is the constant A mu y. This constant. This is the constant. A mu y are constant, and this constant A mu y, this constant represented by alpha. This constant represented by alpha. So F is equal to alpha mu, or F divided by mu is equal to constant. F divided by mu is equal to constant. So what we get, F1 divided by mu1 is equal to F2 divided by mu2. So put the value, we will get u2. So u2 is equal to 50 into 200 divided by 40, that is the 250 centimeter per second. This is the answer. Correct? So here see, F divided by A is equal to mu u y, and this A will put this side. So A mu y, these are the constants. So F divided by mu, put this u velocity here, so it will come down. So F divided by u is equal to constant. F divided by u is equal to constant. This equation we will get. So F divided by u is constant, means F1 divided by u1 is equal to F2 divided by u2 is equal to Fn divided by un. So n number of forces. So we'll get a algebraic equation. So substituting value will get the u2. Then a gas weighs 16 Newton per meter cube at 25 degrees centigrade and at an absolute pressure of 0.25 Newton per mm square. Determine the gas constant and density of the gas. So here we need to find gas constant and density of the gas. So weight density, small w is equal to 16 Newton per meter square. Temperature, T is equal to 25 degrees centigrade. So here Newton per meter square. So T is equal to 270. T is equal to 25 degrees centigrade. So capital T is equal to 273 plus T is equal to 273 plus 25 is equal to 288 degree Kelvin. P is equal to 0.25 Newton per mm square. This is absolute. So 0.25 into 10 raised to 6 Newton per meter square is equal to 25 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. Using relation W is equal to rho into G. Density is obtained by density rho is equal to W divided by G. W is 16 divided by 9.81. So rho is 1.63 kg per meter cube. Using equation 1.5, we will get P divided by rho is equal to R into T. T is the temperature. So R is equal to P divided by rho into T. So T is, capital T is converted temperature in degree Kelvin. Capital T is converted temperature in degree Kelvin, and here small t is degree centigrade. You keep this in mind. The temperature given here is 25 degrees centigrade, and capital T is the temperature converted in Kelvin. So how we are converting in Kelvin? So we are adding only 273 degree in given temperature. So unit conversion is very much important. Unit conversion is very much important here. Then find the surface tension in a soap bubble of 40 mm diameter when the inside pressure is 2.5 Newton per meter square above atmospheric pressure. So here diameter of bubble small d is equal to 40 mm is equal to 40 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Pressure in excess of outside P is equal to small p is equal to 2.5 Newton per mm square. For soap bubble, by using equation we'll get P is equal to 8 into rho divided by d, or 2.5 is equal to 8 into sigma divided by 14 to 10 raised to minus 3. So sigma is equal to 0.0125 Newton per meter square. Find the surface tension, Newton per meter. So here a Newton 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Pressure 2.5 Newton per meter square. 2.5 Newton per meter square. Pressure is Newton per meter square. That value. This is the meter. So surface tension sigma is equal to 0.0125 Newton per meter. So here unit conversion and units are very much important as far as these examples are concerned. So next, the pressure outside the droplet of water of diameter 0.04 mm is 10.32 Newton per centimeter square. It is atmospheric pressure. Calculate the pressure within the droplet if surface tension is given as 0.0725 Newton per meter. Surface tension is given as 0.0725 Newton per meter of water. Then solution given diameter of droplet d is equal to small d is equal to 0.04 mm is equal to 0.4 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So pressure outside the droplet is equal to 10.32 Newton per centimeter square is equal to 10.32 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. So surface tension sigma is equal to 0.0725 Newton per meter. The pressure inside the droplet in excess of outside pressure is given by equation P is equal to 4 sigma divided by d. For the values, find the pressure. Now, pressure inside the droplet is equal to P in excess of outside pressure P plus pressure outside the droplet. So here surface tension, this is 0.725 is pressure, then pressure inside the droplet is equal to P plus pressure outside the droplet. So 0.725 plus 10.32. So pressure inside the droplet is outside pressure plus whatever pressure we have calculated. So now some highlights of unit number 1, types of fluids. So some highlights. So here the weight density or specific weight of fluid is equal to the weight per unit volume. It is also equal to W, small w is equal to rho into g. Specific volume is the reciprocal of mass density. Specific volume is the reciprocal of mass density. The shear stress is proportional to the velocity gradient, du by dy. So tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So tau is shear stress and is proportional to velocity gradient. Velocity gradient is du by dy and mu is the constant. Kinematic viscosity V, small v is given by V is equal to mu into rho. Poise and Stokes are the units of viscosity and kinematic viscosity respectively. Poise and Stokes are units of viscosity and kinematic viscosity. Poise is unit of viscosity, Stokes is unit of kinematic viscosity. To convert the unit of viscosity from poise to MKS unit, poise should be divided by 98.1, and to convert poise into SI unit, the poise should be divided by 10 SI unit of viscosity is Newton second per meter square or Pascal second, where Newton per meter square is equal to Pascal, ये Pascal. So Newton second per meter square is the unit of viscosity, SI unit of viscosity, and also it is written as Pascal second. So Newton second per meter square is equal to Pascal second, because Pascal is equal to Newton per meter square. So for the perfect gas, the equation of state is P divided by rho into R into T, where R is the gas constant for air, which is equal to 29.3 kg force meter per kg degree Kelvin. Capital T is Kelvin, which is equal to 287 joule per kg per degree Kelvin. Joule per kg per degree Kelvin. So capital T is Kelvin. Temperature in Kelvin, degree Kelvin. For isothermal process, P divided by rho is equal to constant, whereas for adiabatic process, P divided by rho raised to K is equal to constant. Bulk modulus of elasticity is given as capital K is equal to minus dP divided by dA by A. Compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus of elasticity, or 1 divided by K. Surface tension is expressed in Newton per meter or dyne per centimeter. The relation between surface tension sigma and difference of pressure P between the inside and outside of liquid drop is given as P is equal to 4 sigma divided by D. For a soap bubble, P is equal to 8 sigma divided by D. For a liquid jet, P is equal to 2 sigma divided by D. Capillary rise or fall of a liquid is given by small h is equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by WD. The value of theta for water is taken equal to 0, and for mercury it is taken as 128. So now unit number 2. So as far as unit number 2 is concerned, before that, so K is the ratio of specific constant. So here K, small k, here small k. This K is a ratio of specific constants. Ratio of specific constant. So now, so as far as unit number 2 is concerned, pressures and its measurement. So numericals on that. Unit number 2. A hydraulic press has a ram of 20 cm diameter and a plunger of 3 cm diameter. It is used for lifting a weight of 30 kg. Find the force required at the plunger. So this is the plunger, this is the ram, this is weight. So this, you see this figure. So diameter of ram, capital D is equal to 20 cm is equal to 0.2 meter. So area of dam, A is equal to pi by 4, D square is equal to pi by 4 into 0.2 square is equal to 0.0314 meter square. Now diameter of plunger. Diameter of plunger is small d is equal to 3 cm is equal to 0.03 meter. So area of plunger calculate. Then weight lifted, W is equal to 30 kilonewton, is equal to 30 into 1000 Newton, is equal to 30,000 Newton. Now see figure, see this figure. Pressure intensity developed due to plunger is equal to force divided by area. Pressure intensity developed due to this plunger, this is the pressure intensity developed due to this plunger is equal to force divided by area, F divided by small a. So by Pascal's law, what Pascal's law states that it states that the pressure or intensity of pressure at a point in a static fluid is equal in all direction. Whatever pressure or intensity of pressure at a point in a static fluid, a fluid is static in steady condition. Static means it is in steady condition. Then the pressure or intensity of pressure at a point is equal in all direction. So by Pascal's law, pressure transmitted at the ram is equal to F divided by A. So force acting on ram is equal to pressure intensity into area of ram. So F divided by A into A. F divided by A into A. So put the value, you'll get force Newton. So but force acting on ram is equal to weight lifted is equal to 30,000 Newton. So 30,000 is equal to force acting on ram is equal to force weight lifted. How much weight lifted? That is W, 30,000. Put the value, you will get the force required in the plunger. Then an oil of specific gravity 0.9 is contained in a vessel at a point. The height of oil is 40 centimeter. Find the corresponding height of water at the point. So solution here given thing. Specific gravity of oil S0, height of oil Z0, density of oil rho. This is O, 0 means O. So oil, that's why I have written oil. Rho, density of oil, rho O is equal to specific gravity of oil into density of water is equal to 0.9 into 1000 is equal to 900 kg per meter cube. So intensity of pressure P is equal to rho oil into G into Z oil. So 900 into 9.81 into 40. So your corresponding height of water is equal to rho divided P divided by height of water is equal to P. That is intensity of pressure divided by density of water into G. So this is the formula. So formula you should here, as far as your solution for different numericals required, the requirement is you should know the basic units, unit conversion and different formulas. And first you write given things, then you write formulas, and before that you draw the figure, or sometimes you watch the figure whatever given in problem. So here an open tank contains water up to depth 2 meter and above it an oil. Up to 2 meter depth it is water and above that oil 1 meter. Of specific gravity 0.9 for a depth of 1 meter. Find the pressure intensity at the interface of the two liquids and at the bottom of the tank. Pressure intensity here and pressure intensity at point B we need to find. So as per as Pascal's law, the force intensity is same. So here is also same and here is also same. Any point. So consider any point. So height of water Z1 liquid 2 meter, Z2 1 meter, SO is equal to 0.9 oil, it's oil. Rho 1 density of water 1000 kg per meter cube. Density of oil is equal to specific gravity of oil into density of water. That is 0.9 into 1000 is equal to 900 kg per meter cube. Pressure intensity at any point is given by P is equal to rho into G into Z. At interface, that is at A, P is equal to rho 2 into G into 1. Rho 2 into G into J. So it is 1. 900 is the intensity of oil. 900 is the density of oil. So G's value is same. So it will be 8,829 Newton per meter square is equal to 8829 divided by 10 raised to 4 Newton per centimeter square. Now at the point B, at the point B, at bottom of tank. So P is equal to rho 2 into G into Z2 plus rho 1 into G into Z1 is equal to 900. So your P is equal to rho 2 into G into Z2, G into Z2. G is acceleration due to gravity, Z2 is the height of oil, plus rho 1 G plus Z1 means both the intensity added. Intensity due to this liquid and intensity due to this liquid, both we are adding here, so it will be calculating this. Then what are the gauge pressure and absolute pressure at a 0.3 meter below the free surface of liquid having a density of 1.53 10 raised to 3 kg per meter cube if the atmospheric pressure is equivalent to 750 mm of mercury. The specific gravity of mercury is 13.6 and density of water is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. So here given data, density of liquid Z1 is equal to 3 meter, density of liquid ρ1 is equal to 1.53 into 10 raised to 3 kg per meter cube, atmospheric pressure at Z0 is equal to 750 mm of mercury. So Z0 is equal to 750 divided by 1000 is equal to 0.75 meter of mercury. So atmospheric pressure P atmospheric is equal to ρ0 into G into Z0, where ρ0 is density of mercury is equal to specific gravity of mercury into density of water. Z0 is equal to pressure head in terms of mercury. So pressure atmospheric is equal to 13.6 into 1000 into 9.8 into 0.75 Newton per mm, Newton per meter square. So Z0 is equal to 0.75. Z0 is equal to 0.75 meter. So your pressure at a point which is at a depth of 3 meter from the free surface of the liquid is given by P is equal to ρ1 into G into Z1. So it is 1.53 into 1000 into 9.81 into 3. So answer is given gauge pressure. Now absolute pressure. Absolute pressure is equal to gauge pressure plus atmospheric pressure. So here we have calculated gauge pressure. This is the gauge pressure, and absolute pressure is equal to gauge pressure plus atmospheric pressure. So gauge pressure is this much, atmospheric pressure is this much. Atmospheric pressure is this much. So we add this atmospheric plus gauge pressure, will get absolute pressure. Absolute pressure is equal to gauge pressure plus atmospheric pressure. So this formula you keep in mind. Absolute pressure is equal to gauge pressure plus atmospheric pressure. So now the right limb of a single U-tube manometer containing mercury is open to the atmosphere, while the left limb is connected to a pipe in which a fluid of specific gravity 0.9 is flowing. The center of pipe is 12 cm below the level of mercury. In the right limb, find the pressure of fluid in the pipe if the difference of mercury level in the two limb is 20 cm. So difference of mercury in the two limb is 20 cm. So specific gravity of fluid S1 is equal to 0.9, density of fluid ρ1 is equal to S1 into 1000 is equal to 900 kg per meter cube. Specific gravity of mercury 13.6, density of mercury 13.6 into 10,000 kg per meter cube. Difference of mercury level H2, small h2 is equal to 20 cm is equal to 0.2 meter. Height of fluid from AA, height of fluid from AA, height of fluid from AA is H1, which is equal to 20 minus 12. 20 minus this is 12, so it's 8 cm. Let P is equal to pressure of fluid in pipe. P is the pressure of fluid in pipe, equating the pressure above AA. Equating the pressure above AA. Pressure above AA. Pressure above AA. So here pressure and here pressure. Equating. So what we will get? P plus ρ1 GH1 is equal to ρ2 GH2. So P plus 900, put the value and we will get the P. This is 2.597 Newton per centimeter square. So next, figure 2.12 shows a conical vessel having its outlet at A, to which a U-tube manometer is connected. The reading of the manometer is given in the figure shows when the vessel is empty. Find the reading of the manometer when the vessel is completely filled with water. We have to find the reading when vessel is fully filled with water. So height of vessel is 3 meter. Height of liquid is H1. So difference between mercury level in manometer tube 20 centimeter. So here difference of mercury level H2 is equal to 20 centimeter. Let H1 is equal to height of water above XX. So above XX height of water is H1. Specific gravity of mercury S2 is equal to 13.6. Specific gravity of water S1 is 1. Density of mercury ρ2 is equal to 31.6 into 1000. Density of water is 1000. Equating the pressure above the atom line. Equating pressure above the atom line. Pressure here and pressure here. ρ2 into G into H2 is equal to ρ1 into G into H1. So put the values, we'll get H1 is equal to 2.72 meter of water. H1 is equal to 2.72 meter. Then vessel is full of water. When vessel is full of water, the pressure in the right limb will increase and mercury level in the right limb will go down. Let the distance through which mercury goes down in the right limb be y centimeter as shown in figure 2.30. So figure already another figure. I will post this figure later on. The mercury will rise in the left by a distance of y centimeter. Now the datum line is ZZ. Equating the pressure above the datum line ZZ, pressure in left limb is equal to pressure in right limb. Pressure in left limb is equal to pressure in right limb. 0.2 plus 2y divided by 100, which is equal to 1000 into 9.81 into 3 plus H1 plus y divided by 100. So here is the figure. Y, this is 20 centimeter and this datum line is Z. So this will be point. Pressure increases, pressure of water increases, mercury level go up here. So Y at Y. This is datum line is Z. So this is 20 plus 2y. This is y. This is y. This is 20. 20 plus 2y centimeter. So put the values. The difference of mercury level in two limb is 20 plus 2y centimeter of mercury. So we get the reading of manometer 42.90 centimeter. So watch this problem very carefully. So pressure in left limb is this much and pressure in right limb is this much. So this pressure is equal to this pressure. Then a single column manometer is connected to a pipe containing a liquid of specific gravity 0.9 as shown in this figure. Find the pressure in the pipe if the area of the reservoir is 100 times the area of the tube for manometer reading shown in figure 2.17. The specific gravity of mercury is 13.6. So here I have given, just check it. As like previous one, check this also. So this is also. So you should see this numericals very carefully. Give more attention. So here these are the references. For this. So this formula, from where we'll get this formula? This formula will get here. So adiabatic process, what is K, what is P, what is C, what is rho? So that will be given here. Correct? This is the references for this numerical. So numerical 2.25. If something is missing in the next video, I will clarify this. Then highlights of unit number 2. The highlights of unit number 2. Now the pressure at any point in a fluid is defined as the force per unit area. The Pascal's law states that intensity of pressure for fluid at rest is equal in all directions. Pressure variation at a point in a fluid at rest is given by hydrostatic law, which states that the rate of increase of pressure in the vertically downward direction is equal to the specific weight of fluid. dP divided by dz is equal to small w is equal to rho into g. The pressure at any point in an incompressible fluid liquid is equal to the product of density of fluid at that point, acceleration due to gravity, and vertical height from free surface of fluid. P is equal to rho into G into J. Absolute pressure is the pressure in which absolute vacuum pressure is taken as a datum, while gauge pressure is the pressure in which the atmospheric pressure is taken as datum. So absolute pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. Manometer is a device used for measuring pressure at a point of fluid. Manometers are classified as simple manometer and differential manometer. Simple manometers are used for measuring pressure at a point, while differential manometers are used for measuring the difference of pressures between 2 points in a pipe or two different pipes. A single column manometer or micrometer is used for measuring small pressures where accuracy is required. The pressure at point in a static compressible fluid is obtained by combining two equations, that is equation of state for gas and equation of given by hydrostatic law. The pressure at height capital Z in a static compressible fluid, that is gas, undergoing isothermal compression, P divided by rho is equal to constant. So P is equal to rho, P is equal to P0 e raised to minus G into Z divided by RT, where P0 is equal to atmospheric absolute pressure at sea level or at ground level. P0 is absolute pressure at sea level or ground level. Z, capital Z is equal to height from sea or ground level. Capital R is equal to gas constant, and capital T is equal to absolute temperature in degree Kelvin. Always keep in mind capital T is in degree Kelvin. If temperature is given in degree centigrade, first you need to convert it in degree Kelvin, then only you need to use it, or you should use it. Then the pressure and temperature at a height Z in a static compressible fluid gas undergoing adiabatic compression, P divided by rho raised to K is equal to constant. P is equal to P0 into 1 minus K minus 1 divided by K into G capital Z rho 0 divided by P0 raised to bracket raised to K divided by small k divided by K minus 1. P is equal to P0 square bracket 1 minus K minus 1 divided by K into G capital Z divided by R capital R into T 0 square bracket complete bracket raised to K divided by K minus 1, and temperature capital T is equal to T0 into square bracket 1 minus K minus 1 divided by K into G into Z divided by capital R into T0 square bracket complete, where P0, T0 are pressure and temperature at sea level. P0 and capital T0 are the pressure and temperature at sea level. Small k is equal to 1.4 for air, it's constant, 1.4 for air. The rate at which the temperature changes with elevation is known as temperature lapse rate. The rate at which the temperature changes with elevation. At which rate? As far as elevations are concerned, as we go up or come down, the pressure, temperature changes. Temperature changes. When we go up or come down, temperature changes. But this temperature changes with some rate. The rate at which temperature changes with elevation is known as temperature lapse rate. it is given by capital L is equal to minus G divided by capital R into bracket K minus 1 divided by K. If K is equal to 1, temperature is 0. If K is equal to 1, temperature is 0. And it's K is greater than 1, temperature decreases with the increase of height. If K is greater than 1, temperature decreases with height. So this, because of this, when we go up, when we go at elevation, temperature decreases. There is a decrease in temperature. So this is all related with the unit number 1, properties of fluids and pressure and its measurement. That is unit number 2. So this lecture or this session, audio video session, is very useful. You first read the some theoretical part related with the civil fluid mechanics, and then watch this video carefully, so you will get the idea how to solve the numericals. So in the next video we will see same things, that is the video that is the numericals, step by step procedure of solving numericals of other units in next units from same subject. So please watch the video carefully. If you like it, please do share it and subscribe the channel for more such fruitful videos. Thank you.